Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is video 3 for the AutomoblixWindscreen windscreen. So real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to add in these little plastic extrusions or little plastic ridges on our model. You're going to see that they're symmetric about a couple different planes. This happens to be our right plane when we built it, but we don't have anything that goes down the middle of the model. And we want to get that symmetry so we can use a mirror feature. So to do that, I'm going to insert a plane, and I'm going to show you one way to insert a plane. I'm just going to flip the model over here to get a look at it, and what you'll see is, here's my right plane, and I can turn that on by clicking and turning the eyeglasses on. You'll see it runs right smack down the middle of the model. We want to add another one that goes right down the middle. Now this line happens to have a center point in it, so we're going to take advantage of that. So we're going to add a reference geometry of a plane. The first thing that we want to reference is we actually want to reference the front plane. So I've put my cursor in and highlighted the front plane. We want to reference that front plane because we want to be parallel going through the middle of the model. The second reference, so I click to put my cursor in the second reference, is actually going to be this midline point. And you'll see that midline symbol. I click on that midline symbol and it places the plane right through the middle of that object. At that point, I'm fully defined. You'll see the green message, fully defined. And because I referenced a plane and said parallel to it, I only need a second spot to define a plane. I'll accept that plane. So now what I've got is that nice symmetrical plane through my model. It's going to be really handy now. So let's take a quick look at what we're actually drawing here. We're drawing these little tabs. So I'm going to roll my model around so that we're looking at it in the same relative relations. So there is a kind of a front quarter view. There's that same side view that we're looking at. I'm going to roll it upside down here so we don't get too confused here with what it looks like. So there's my model view. Now you'll see that I've got a little tab right here. In that little tab, here's the detail for it. It's 0.05 wide, 0.04 sticking out. So let's go ahead and draw that. And we're going to put 1 on each side here. So what we can do is we can go into our top plane. And I don't really want that visible. I'm going to roll my model over now. I'm going to go to my top plane and I'm going to put a center rectangle. Take advantage of that center rectangle. So I'm going to sketch. And that sketch is going to be in my top plane. Rolling my model over again here just to make it a little easier for me to see. And my apologies, I don't want to put that sketch there. What I want to do is I want to sketch on this surface of that object. So I'm going to sketch, choose my surface of the object. There we go. And now my actual model, it doesn't really matter the relationship. I'm just going to sketch in the center here. So I'll click on that center rectangle, come in here and highlight, get the coincident marker, and then drop a rectangle. And I'll dimension that so that it is dimensioned to be 0.04. Zoom in a little better. Dimension that so it is 0.04 tall. And 0.05 wide. And you notice how it stayed on the line when I dimensioned it. I'm going to add a relation between this bottom line and the outside edge of my model. And I need to get rid of this relation here. I didn't mean to have that in there. I'm going to make them collinear, and now it goes fully defined. Now exiting my sketch, you'll see that what I have, that little square. Let's go ahead and extrude that. And I want to change my direction and go down. And I want to go up to next. And you'll see it fills in all the way down that contour. So I've got that first one done. Let's do the same thing over here. And I'm going to draw these two. Now what you're going to notice is I made this plane so that I could mirror about it. So let's go ahead and just draw the first one of these, and it's 0.95 down. So 0.95 down, and it's actually down on this surface. So let's go ahead and start drawing the first one. And we're going to start that by doing extruded boss base, sketching on this surface. Draw center rectangle. I'll zoom in, and I want it somewhere out here. I'm going to dimension it the same way. 0.04 sticking out from the wall. And 0.05 wide. Messed up my dimension there. So as I zoom in, I need to add a relation between the back edge and the outside edge. And I want to get rid of that dimension there in the relationship, and they're going to be collinear. Snaps into position. Now what I need to do is I need to actually position this in relation to my model. Now if we look up here, this distance is right there, 0.95. And because I used the center rectangle, you'll see that what I can do is dimension to that center point. I'm going to go to the center point, then down to my front edge. Look at that, I got it at 0.95 already. 0.95 it is. Fully dimensioned at that point. Exit my sketch, roll my model, and you can see my directions going the wrong way, so I'm going to change directions, go up to next, and extrude it. So now what I've got is I've got about half of my lines done. So let me do a couple of mirrors. The first mirror that I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead, and if I would have been clever, I'd have done that on the other side, but I didn't, but that's okay. I'm going to do a mirror. The mirror command is right up here in the middle of your toolbar on the features. So when I mirror, the first thing it does is it says, what are you going to mirror about? So the first one I'm going to mirror about is this midpoint. The object that I'm going to mirror is my boss extrude that I just did. I'll accept that mirror, and I'm also going to mirror boss extrude 2. So now you'll see that I've got these two diagonal pieces in my mirror. And now they just popped into place. I'm going to do one more mirror action. This time I'm going to mirror about my right plane. And my objects that I'm going to select are going to be sorry, I'm clicking like crazy here. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to pick this single object up here, and it will mirror all the way around. So now I've just made all of those tabs with two simple commands. I drew two, and then I commanded the mirror all the way around. That's the power of the mirror. Great, so now let's apply some fillets. You're going to see a little bit of unevenness in this fillet, and there's not much you can do about that, but it's a 0.15 radius fillet that goes around the edge. So this is straightforward. We've done it a lot before. 0.15 is the size. We're going to fillet the inside first. Maybe. There we go. 0.15. 0.15. And then we're going to apply that same fillet to the outside edges. And there's our fillet. Now what you'll see is we've got our nice rounded corners, we've got our tabs built in, and we'll do a quick comparison to what our drawing looks like. Pretty darn close. That's it. That's video 3. Thanks for watching.